is an American media company, but it has its own biases and sometimes even meddles in the internal affairs of China. Having established those facts, then it is now incumbent upon both sides or their representatives to talk about the situation and find out any prompt solution that can be made to prevent escalating the incident. Right now, the state visit of Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos in China, both sides are set to sign about 14 bilateral agreements. And one of the agreements talks about direct communication line between China and the Philippine government. If it pushes through, the communication line will help a lot in terms of verification, help prevent miscalculation and misunderstanding between the two countries, especially whenever incidents like the one you mentioned take place. I hope in the coming weeks and months they will become functional and that both sides, including the Philippine military, will honor uh, those arrangements. Secondly, since 2017, during the time of Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, there was already a bilateral mechanism dialogue that was established with the aim of scheduling dialogues in order to resolve common problems, including the maritime disputes in the South China Sea. Aside from the emergency communication line, this bilateral dialogue mechanism will help a lot in arriving at solutions when both sides meet, either in Beijing or in Manila. It is also important in toward building trust and confidence between both sides. Thresh out problems in a peaceful way, knowing that you can trust the other side and that the other side will also trust you. Filipino people as a whole are friendly to the Chinese people, and anytime the Chinese people can come to visit the Philippines as visitors or as tourists. Before the pandemic in late 2019, the uh, the number of Chinese tourists coming to the Philippines reached about 1.7 million. With the imminent end of the COVID-19 pandemic and the fast recovery and the rebuilding of the economy by China, as well as the Philippines itself, we would predict positively that the number of tourists that was recorded in 2019 will be reached again in 2023 or in the coming years, especially as a result of the state visit of President Ferdinand Marcos in China. Secondly, this is the only time that happened in the Philippines. A major country like China has been doing a lot in terms of supporting the infrastructure projects in the Philippines, ranging from highways to bridges to projected or planned railways, no? Consisting of thousands of kilometers in totality. Right now, I know that there are about 40 infrastructure projects. I look at the future relations between the two countries in a positive way. With one country, a rich and well-endowed country like China, uh, always ready to come to the aid of a brother like the Philippines. That is beyond question, especially because during the pandemic, China was the first country to come to the aid of the Philippines. The Filipinos will not forget the generous support coming from China. That kind of a statement is not only irresponsible, but it is provocative. And everybody knows that China will not entertain any such ridiculous idea of conducting armed attack on the Philippines, knowing the history of China. China has never colonized any country. It has not taken over any other territory. To sum up, as a whole, Harris is bluffing. The Philippine president, Marcos, and his advisors are all aware that no such thing will happen, and that lines are open between the two countries, and that anytime, whenever a particular issue arises, the two countries can discuss such issue right away without interference by the American. The relation should be only among friends, among the two parties.